this guy's not traded yet. Okay, look, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I'm angry, he's still a Hab. I want him out. I hate this guy. Get him off this team. No, that's not the energy that I want to give out in this video. I understand I might have inadvertently done that, so I apologize, but we're going over Montreal Canadiens goaltender Carey Price. And I'll admit, it's kind of dangerous for me to make this commentary. This guy could get traded in the next 5 minutes and nobody's gonna know. But at the time of recording this audio, it's already the afternoon here on Monday, September 1st. Carey Price is still a Hab. And as we had discussed in last night's emergency video commentary, there were some very serious updates with Carey Price and his contract with the Montreal Canadiens. He received the signing bonus today. Either that or he is in the process of receiving it. Either way, that 5.5 million buckaroos to Carey Price's name is supposed to be signed, sealed, delivered today on September 1st, 2025. And with all of this, now we have ourselves the Carey Price remainder of the contract. So, of course, 10.5 million is the AAV, but think about the salary that he was owed for this upcoming season, $5.5 million in bonuses and $2 million in base money. He was owed $7.5 million bucks for this upcoming season, and a good chunk of that was just paid out today. NHL teams acquiring Carey Price would only be on the books for actually paying him $2 million bucks over the course of the next few months, and the $10.5 million would only be reflected in the cap hit. We've already had this discussion. There are some teams that would benefit from having a huge contract on their payroll. Teams like Chicago, Pittsburgh, San Jose, should they want to trade away a bunch of players they already have at the trade deadline, having a $10.5 million AAV contract on their hands will ensure that they have a much more difficult time going below the cap floor. That's really helpful. And so, Carey Price's contract, in a way, can be seen as somewhat of a valuable commodity. Sure, Montreal wouldn't just give it away for free. They probably might need to get involved in some sort of a move. Maybe if a team really wants Price's deal, they'll pay a price to get it. Maybe if a team is a lot more hesitant and Montreal's more pushy, then maybe Montreal has to add an asset. Honestly, I'm not really too certain where the trade market is going to wind up. But we do have ourselves some updates courtesy of Marco D'Amico from earlier this morning that dive into where conversations seem to be going. One thing I've been told to watch with the San Jose Sharks is that they're at 49 out of 50 contracts, and they want to sign Michael Misa ASAP. The Habs have 43 out of 50 contracts lined up, so any prospective deal between the parties would require contracts coming back, with Montreal being able to accommodate that. This doesn't mean that a deal between both teams is assured, but we have confirmation that they have talked, and the fit is pretty obvious beyond the noted cap benefit. I have been stressed from sources that no deal has been concluded. We then have ourselves some replies. This is what Marc-Olivier Baudouin went out there and posted about. Honestly, the upside in a trade for San Jose could be precisely to free up, let's say, 3 contract spots to sign Misa and keep a bit of wiggle room, like 3 AHLers. Just for that, the Canadiens could pay less to San Jose in the transaction. Win-win. D'Amico then replies saying this, don't forget Sam Dickinson's contract either, which currently doesn't count against the limit. If he makes the team, what happens? That's another contract San Jose has to worry about. Furthermore, Nick Kluche went out there and posted this. The San Jose Sharks are 1 contract away from the 50 contract limit and have not yet reached an agreement with Misa. AHL and ECHL players could thus be included in a trade involving Carey Price's contract. So for San Jose, they could be in the process of sending Montreal some extra AHL, ECHL guys just to get the contract numbers working in their favor. They need to get Michael Misa under contract. They want this guy to stick around, and signing him earlier is the first step in doing that. But they don't want to be pushed right up against the limit because, of course, you want some wiggle room. You want to be able to make moves and be flexible, even if you are the San Jose Sharks and you're not expected to be an amazing team in the upcoming year. So for Carey Price, looks like San Jose is one of the primed destinations here, and that's not surprising after all. We've been talking about Price and the Sharks for months now. But let's dive into what Carey Price's perspective seems to be himself. Because earlier on Instagram, this is what Angela Price went out there and posted. She had herself a little Q&A, monthly Ask Me Anything here on the IG. And the reply goes out there and asks, how would you feel if the Montreal Canadiens move Carey's contract in the following days? Price's wife says this, probably the same way most of Montreal would feel, but ultimately you want what's best for the team. So, essentially, if Price gets traded, obviously he's not going to commit to San Jose. He's not going to say, oh, I'm a Shark for life. Like, obviously that's not the case here. He understands the implications of his contract. He's making the money after all. But he also understands, he and his family, that this will be helpful for Montreal. The Canadiens will benefit from freeing up $10.5 million in cap space. They won't be in LTIR territory. If you have rookies like Demidov, for example, that hit their bonuses in the upcoming season, they're not going to get an extra cap penalty in the years to come because they're in LTIR spending. This is very helpful for them. And it was about time, too, with the fact that Price's contract expires a year from now. No buyout needed. Maybe you retain some salary, who knows? But even if you don't, it's just a one-year deal for a guy who's making a lot of money and who's going to be an LTIR player. He's not going to be able to play this upcoming season. Is sad, yeah, I get it. Like, it's not ideal to have Carey Price miss out on the second half of his NHL career here and the second half of the contract pretty much, but the guy hasn't played since 2022. And he had a very grand set-off. A lot of Canadiens fans admire Carey. He was one of the best goaltenders in his era. It's just that era doesn't seem to be the modern era anymore, and now it's looking like it's going to be capped off by getting traded to San Jose, Pittsburgh, Chicago, or otherwise. No trade as of right now, but we'll let you know when there is some sort of a move to talk about. For now, though, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Carey Price being a potential San Jose Shark. If you head over to the Sharks and their cap structure, I mean, this is what we were talking about 49 out of 50 contracts. Yes, they have their NHL guys, but there are so many players on the non-roster section that could get moved. Guys that are a little bit older. Ethan Cardwell is over here. Colin White is on an AHL deal, or on an NHL deal playing in the AHL. Sam LeBerge is here. Pavel Regenda has a contract. So there are a number of guys that the San Jose Sharks have in their system. And even right here on the defense, I mean, you think about, where's Sam Dickinson here? Yeah, Dickinson's on the non-roster defense, so he technically doesn't count against that 50 contract limit. So there's a lot of flexibility San Jose can open up by getting rid of some of their guys, sending them to Montreal on a deal for Carey Price. I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about that? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.